What's up, y'all? As you read from the title, I'm just going to go straight into this. I will warn you, though, these are all just my opinions, and yeah, so if you don't agree with me on any of these are ranked based on how much I used them in the campaign and how useful they are to me. So you may find them differently, you may find them better or worse. I don't know. Okay, let's just go straight into it. I think we all know which one's going into the lowest tier. The plank golems. They're not horrible in the early game. They're good for defending structures against rushes for cheap, but they quickly fall off late game as you get better options like these spinny guys. All right, next up, going into bottom of C tier. This guy. I don't even know what to say about him. I mean, he's not like terrible. If you get him, I don't really have much to say about him. He's just the weakest of all the firsts, and their stomp attack is pretty good at taking out swarms. It's particularly good when dealing with the horde of spore, whatever they're called, because they like to go up high with all their buildings, so then when the spore pusher things, they like knock your units back and affect an area. Once they hit your units, they push them all off the high ledges. So it's pretty good at reversing that effect and knocking back their piglins off, I guess, if you can position it correctly. Alright, next up. These are probably a lot higher than what I'm ranking them, but I just never had them be that useful. They were just... They're snipers, essentially. They're just better planks, but I don't personally like them. They don't deal that much damage. They don't have that much HP. They tend to die a lot. I don't really like them. Alright. Top of C tier. These guys. Actually, I might move that. I might move that up to bottom of B tier. Because they are really good at area denial. They can, against the hunt faction, horde, whatever you call it, they can wreak havoc on enemies. They're especially good with these guys. I said they're bad, but against in that one niche scenario, they're kind of good. These guys roll into enemies and like do splash damage and such, and stun them for a little bit. Alright. Right above it is the first of Oak, I think it is. It's it's just a better of this, okay? It has it died. I mean, for a first, it's around the same power level as this guy, except it has less HP, and if there is any first that's going to die in the battlefield first, it's probably going to be this first. So, you usually want to either protect it, or get your units to protect it. But, other than that, it's pretty well-rounded. It has okay area splash damage. It has really good range. It deals okay damage against structures. That's all I have to really say about it. Also, it has no eyes, and I cannot unsee that. Alright, moving on to someone with eyes. Actually, I'm gonna move this up a little. The Stone Golem. They are pretty good. I might move it up. Yeah, I think I'll move it up. So, the Stone Golem is a cheap anti-building mob. If you can swarm them onto a building, that building is done for unless it has some heavy support. Or you don't protect it because you're a heartless Yeah, if you're a heartless monster, you'll leave these to die alone. Alone, in numbers, they can deal like half damage to a building, but if you can protect them with either yourself or other units, like, these guys or these guys, they can take out a tower really easily. Or take out really any building really easily. Alright, moving on. Stone Golem, or Stone First, I rank this a little bit higher. They're essentially just stone golems, except they have a ranged attack, and I hate the ranged attack because it means they don't deal their higher damage melee attack, so it's like super annoying with the sometimes kind of, how do I put this, dumb AI. Well, also, he really likes to take lava baths for some reason. Yeah. Alright, next up, the zombie. It's it depends on the situation. So, like, against structures, this does better. But against units, this one deals so much more damage against units. Do I want to rank this above this? Because, like, I feel like this is really helpful, meanwhile this is just a helpful additive. And I'll swap their places. So, they have a lot of health. It takes forever to get rid of them. And they deal a pretty good amount of damage. Not against structures. These guys strictly deal more damage against structures. Next up, Creeper. No, I'm not going to say it. They're just anti-structures. Okay, you want a structure gone, you get a horde of these. Maybe put some zombies or stone golems in front of them. And then just absolutely destroy anything. Like, in PvP, what you can do is you can get a couple of creepers, like 1, 2, or 3. Put a couple of stone golems in front of them. Send the stone golems in to take the damage. And then send in some creepers to get rid of the wall in front of the stone golems. And then your stone golems can wreak havoc for free. But you can do that on really any defense now that I think about it. Anyways, let's. Do I think this is S tier? No, I don't think this is an S tier. It's definitely strong, but it's not S tier. Warriors are beefed up zombies, basically. They're really strong. They deal tons of damage. They can handle structures okay, but you're mostly going to use them against units and bosses. Against those, they absolutely obliterate them. So, I don't have really much to say about it, it's just an upgraded zombie. Now we're moving up on to S tier. First, we're gonna have this guy. What can I even say about him? It is really strong, okay? It makes swarms of units, for free, mind you, that don't fill up your summoner cap, or your summoner points, I don't know what you call them. Summoner flames. It does this for free, and it summons them very constantly. And the 3 units it summons are the plank golems, the stone golems, and I think they're the sawmill golems. I have no idea. But anyways, that makes it a really well-rounded first that can basically handle anything you want. You want it to handle crowds? You got this. You want single targets dead? You got this. You want buildings gone? You got this. Like, what is it bad at? It also has a bunch of health too. You don't usually want to send it alone though. You'll usually want some other units with it, like either past of its other summons, or like a zombie or warrior or two, to take damage for it while it prepares to summon in units, because it can take it quite a while before it actually can make a unit. Alright, this is the unit required for all offensive or defensive positions. It pairs super well with all of the other units. It can heal units. That is the main thing you want from it. You don't really care about the debuff. You just care that it can heal your units. And keep them in the fight for longer, meaning you'll have to buy less of those units. You can pair a bunch of these with a bunch of stone golems and just leave that tower alone. That tower is done for. The only thing it doesn't really pair with is creepers, but you don't really care about creepers. You care about what your creepers are supporting. Yeah, I probably didn't explain that well, but this is my ranking of all of the mobs in the game that you can control, I think. I didn't control the natural things like the animals because who's actually going to care about those? Maybe I'll do a tier list for those later if this gets enough attention. I don't know, but I hope you all enjoyed. Goodbye.